Hey Internet, Zombie here, welcoming you back to content with the first ever Omni Entertainment Studios podcast, aptly named the OmniCast, inspired by our good friends at the Golden Saucer. Each week, our hosts discuss anything from video games to comics, movies to music. And without further ado, here's the first episode. Games.
And I imagine we'll have some intro music or something here, so there it goes. Okay.
Podcast.
All right. Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever conducted and this is the first time we are trying out a podcast for the ever so wonderful Omni Entertainment Studios, and we're just gonna see how this goes, because, you know, I've had this idea for a little while, and I'm thinking of calling this the OmniCast, which I feel is kind of all-inclusive, and
I do quite like that name.
I feel like it works. It is all-encompassing by definition, I think. I'm not...
Literal, actual definition.
It fits with the theme of what we're trying to do.
Absolutely. And totally by coincidence is part of the name of our little organization.
Did you know that today's theme is themes?
Okay.
Well, shit, I thought we decided on something totally different. Whatever.
Shout out to Stephen Fry.
No, I'm going to go ahead and leave the call
Thank
now.
you, Stephen Fry. All right, well, anyways, I am joined here by a couple of friends of mine. Mr. Darren
Hello.
is on the line with us. Hello, Darren. It's good to see you again, even though I don't see you.
It's good to be back into Omni.
Yes, it's good to be doing stuff again.
I'm
We
almost
took a little hiatus.
completely settled in, and I really like the
It
place
is really,
we're at
really
now.
nice.
It's
a dream come
great.
true.
Yes, and on the other line, sharing a little living space with our friend Darren
howdy.
is Mr. Stewart.
I'm hot.
How are you doing, Mr.
Really,
Stewart?
really hot.
It is
Too
I am
incredibly
literally
warm in our
too
house.
hot for my shirt.
I mean,
Hot damn. Call the police or the fire, man.
Too
Well, not
sexy
quite
for
like
his
that.
shirt. Also too sexy to have another hit
Oh,
single.
it's sad because it's
Bam.
Does it hurt? Oh, that's bad. Okay, and sitting right across from me in a completely different location is my buddy Ruben. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, breaking dimensions and shit by being next to you in a completely different place.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how we're set up. I mean,
Yay!
we're here in the same place, and you guys are like what, 245,
I'd say
250
about-
miles away from
yeah.
us?
Yeah, about that.
Right? Yeah.
We'll have to eventually try to fix that.
We've got a little bit of news. There's a little bit that's going on, like, in the world of gaming this week, and that's generally that's what we decided what we're gonna cover for this first one. We're just gonna kind of go over like what's going on in gaming, and we got a few things that we want to talk about. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Got a little bit of news that we can talk about. So I know for a fact, Darren, you and I, we are way into the series of Mass Effect. Like,
Absolutely.
so the news on that is that there has been motion capture that has been started for the next title, Mass Effect 4. And
Ooh.
this is due to I wrote down this tweet. I can't remember exactly who it was, but it was a lead on the project over for BioWare. It was for BioWare, the Canadian version of BioWare, which is like BioWare Montreal, I think it is. I might be totally wrong, but anyways, they're the branch who's working on everything up in Canada, and they do all this work. And so the lead tweeted verbatim, "Getting our motions on at the Capture Lab in Vancouver. A very cool scene for the next #Mass Effect." And included on that tweet was a picture of them just kind of working on motion capture. And if you want to see that, you can go see it at ign.com/me4_motion capture. And it is some really cool stuff.
I cannot wait.
Exactly. Ever since I heard that this was going to be an actual thing, like, I've been trying to follow it as best I can. And it's been, I don't know, everything I'm looking from it is so neat. Like, I am very ready to see what's coming from it and what it's going to be, like, what it's going to come out to. Like, that's going to be incredible, right?
I hope so.
Okay, so I started playing the first Mass Effect few months ago, and I still haven't finished
Really?
through it, but for a while. And honestly, I started playing it because I didn't have an internet connection anymore, so I couldn't play games online. But I got pretty engrossed in it. And
I have
mean,
not played the
obviously, I've heard
first
a
one.
lot of hype,
It
so-
will destroy your life in the most wonderful way you could
Yeah.
imagine.
Haven't you played through it like what 10, 12 times? Probably more than that.
No, not that much. Like 3
I've
or
only
4.
started playing Mass Effect 2, and I enjoy it so far.
I want to say, because I have very strong feelings on the Mass Effect trilogy, especially in regards to Mass Effect 2. I would say that you definitely need to go and play the first one.
You should play the thing as a whole,
What,
like the trilogy.
Yeah, definitely.
If I may ask, what caused you to start at Mass Effect 2?
I didn't. I went to the store and I was like, "Hey, Mass Effect! I've never ever played that, and it's like $5 on clearance. I better try that out." It was
So,
Mass Effect
for
2,
convenience.
and then 3 was also on sale. So I'm like, "Well, might as well."
Well, we could get into this, and it would be an entirely different topic. So,
Yeah,
we
definitely.
start talking about what
Exactly.
order to watch the Star Wars movies in.
it's something along those lines, pretty much, and it's just that's an entirely different topic that I could talk to you for hours and hours on end, and we don't really have that much time. So
4,
maybe
5,
we'll,
1, 2, 3, 6. If anybody's wondering.
What?
and that's another thing all in and of itself. Stop sidetracking us, damn it!
No, get the bad ones out of the way first. Just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No, we're not going to talk about this right now.
Oh God, no! We can't open this can of worms. It's not gonna work.
No.
It's not gonna work.
I have the higher ground, Anakin.
Oh God.
Oh
I
God,
swear.
everyone, shut up! Shut up!
Mass Effect. I'm pretty stoked for it, and I still haven't even finished like the main trilogy. But
Yeah.
from what I've heard, because Mass Effect 3 kind of wraps things up. So
Well, it's
what's
gonna be
4
an-
gonna do?
It's gonna from what I understand, this is not it's not the same story. Like, we're not following the same people around. Like, it's supposed to be something different that's going on. Well, I can't say any of this for sure. Like, I'm not quoting anyone. This is just kind of what I've gotten from what I've heard from various bits and pieces. But it's supposed to be just something different. I mean, because
I
kind of what
believe it
happens.
is also in the future.
You know, that's kind of
It
my.
might be shit.
That's kind of my big.
In the future, based on the original trilogy, right? Because
Yeah, based on that.
In the future.
My issue
Okay.
with a series that's numbered like that is when you establish that throughout the first 3, it's the same person, and then suddenly in the 4th, it's a brand new person who hasn't really been introduced at all. I feel like that's better suited for maybe a side quel, or like a
Kind of like,
a subtitle.
Halo ODST. How ODST
exactly
was
like
not sequential.
ODST.
Exactly. Yeah.
well,
like
it was Halo 3 ODST.
Because it's kind of
Yeah.
like Metal
Well,
Gear.
that was just because it was the same engine. They used the same engine to tell a different story. Like, they didn't change anything.
Or
The way I
Yeah.
feel like it's gonna have to be looked at is that I feel like it's gonna have to looked at the same way as that Hyrule Warriors should, in my opinion, Hyrule Warriors should not be looked at as an official title of Legend of Zelda the series.
No, absolutely not.
because I don't. Does that make sense, or am I just?
Well,
Am I
Haven't
crazy?
they said
But
it's like
Hyrule
it's all
Warriors-
canon, just different timelines?
yeah, it's like
Yeah,
multiverse or whatever.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
yeah,
but that's
it's incorporated.
That was stated before Hyrule Warriors was released, and that's not included on that timeline.
Oh, is
Yeah.
okay.
I feel like how it has to be approached is pretty much just as a different game, which is why people will get so disappointed in how a lot of things turn out. And I mean, I can sort of do that. I can go into it thinking, okay, this is not the same thing. It has a lot of the same themes. It's in the same universe, but this is not, like in this case, this is not the Mass Effect trilogy. That has been done. And
What? How?
Didn't they
how
solve
far?
the issue
They did.
forever?
See, yeah, that's what I was saying. In Mass
Hopefully.
Effect 3, they wrap things up.
Well,
Uh,
depending
Your choice
on
of multicolored endings.
yeah,
Do you think
well,
that's
like, there's
sorry,
the
go ahead.
multicolored endings, but there's also the you lost scenario, which means they did not
Worse.
resolve it.
yeah,
Huh.
again, we could go on to this
Oh my
forever,
God.
but
So
Either
are
way,
they
yeah.
splitting timelines like Zelda? Do you think
Oh,
that's
God.
where it's
No,
going?
no, no. I think this
We
is.
don't know. Like we
the
don't
Mass
know
Effect
anything
lore
about
is-
it. We just know
Mass-
the only thing that we know about it is that it's being worked on, and
Yeah.
I'm okay
Here's-
with that because if I start to hear specific things, then everyone's gonna get their ideas, and then ultimately
Here is something to ponder. Do you think that the gameplay is going to be different enough from the original trilogy to consider it a different game? I.e., the way that Hyrule Warriors is way different gameplay from your mainline Zelda titles?
it
I
could
don't think that's
be,
fair.
but we just don't know yet. We have no idea.
Well, I mean,
Because
I'm
I
gonna
think
say
it's
no.
the
changed
same
between Zelda
gameplay.
games.
I'm sorry?
Gameplay has changed between Zelda games, like from 2D to 3D, and whole
That's
new
true, but the
mechanics.
same core gameplay values are there. The dungeon puzzles, the crucial items in each dungeon, a set number of them with a big final boss, the whole action RPG storytelling elements. They're all still there, but Hyrule Warriors is just Dynasty Warriors with Zelda skin.
I
Pretty
also
much.
feel like that moving from, like 1985, that era for Zelda, to 2000 was a much bigger technological leap between 2000 and 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just kind of
So,
utilizing what they were able to. And
I'm
Yeah,
going to say no,
absolutely.
they don't change the format too heavily. Just
In
because
Hyrule Warriors, or
no, for Mass
for
Effect.
Mass Effect. Yeah,
Yeah.
the core
For-
concepts will still be there. Like pretty much what spurred from what I understand, what spurred the idea for them to even go along with this project was that they were trying all the stuff that they could do with next gen technology, and they said, okay, we have to do something with this, and the rest is what they're working on now.
See, I agree. I think it's still going to be the same base Mass Effect idea with gameplay and stuff. So I think it'll be closer to like a Halo ODST sort of thing, as
It's-
opposed to Hyrule Warriors.
it's very
that
possible.
far off, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I mean, and they spent 3 games fine-tuning their combat and movement engine. I don't think they're going to scrap
Yeah,
it.
it seems like a
Yeah,
lot of work
yeah, I
to
don't
just
think
throw
so
in the
either.
trash.
And I remember playing the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer beta, and I was very impressed by that. I don't like third-person shooters because I had a bad experience with Gears of War,
Gears, yeah.
the first
Yeah.
one on Xbox Live.
Crab walking.
I fucking
Crap
hated it. It was terrible. Or maybe I just sucked. I don't know. But
I kind of feel your pain.
like
there.
I was very impressed by by the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer.
Yeah,
It's
so-
pretty
Actually, Metal Gear Solid 5 renewed my hope in cover-based shooters.
what the new
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, because that game feels so good with cover-based mechanics.
You're talking about Ground Zeroes?
Yes, I have 100% complete that game.
Man, I should. I got it and I went through it, but I never went through like the whole
so
thing.
good.
You know what revived my faith in third-person cover-based? Oddly enough, I think it's mostly because I've been playing it recently because it was on Games for Gold. But the Tomb Raider reboot.
Oh
Like-
god,
Yeah.
we're
I
getting
downloaded it,
getting
but
into
yet
this
to play.
later. We're getting into this later.
Yes,
We're getting
later.
This is one of
We're
our
touching
other
upon.
points we'll be making. So
Oh
stay
God,
tuned,
the
listeners.
timelines.
Hey,
But anyways, I quite enjoyed how fluid the cover was on there and how you fought. I enjoyed that. That's
Yeah,
all
I
I'm
did
gonna
as
say
well.
on it.
okay, cool.
should we move
Okay,
on to
well
our next topic?
let's move on to a little bit of let's hit these short points of news real quick so we can get into the good stuff. Okay, first bit, we have delays. Batman Arkham Knight is being delayed until June 23rd. Boo-hoo.
Okay.
Looks like a good thing that's going to happen, but yeah, so June 23rd you'll have it.
Meh.
It'll be cool. And same thing, just like we were talking about, Legend of Zelda, another boo-hoo. Their official word is it will not be released until sometime next year. It will not be appearing in 2015. I
Shout
think
out
Is-
to 2
ouch.
minutes ago when we were talking
yeah,
about
shout
Zelda.
out to like 2
Legend of
minutes ago when
Skyrim.
we were talking.
But you
Shut
guys
up,
have
shut up.
seen the whole talk about how they're trying to jump back to the original idea with Zelda, where it was just like super open world and non-linear and stuff. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So
I am.
go
I'll tell
ahead.
you
I'm all
what.
about that.
I really think that the best Zelda game I've ever played isn't a Zelda game, it's Skyrim. Like, not even joking about the whole
Oh, God.
Legend of Skyrim thing. But to me, The Legend of Zelda has always been about, exploring random, wild, dangerous places and getting awesome loot as a result of it. And
You
Skyrim
are absolutely
just
right.
absolutely...
I definitely can see what you're saying, and I absolutely agree.
And
So
thus
if
is
we
the
get
a point of Skyrim.
If we get a game like Skyrim for Zelda, I would be fucking thrilled.
Yeah,
But
that would be...
they can't do it that close.
Well, of
because,
course, obviously.
In that case.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not
That
saying
would be cool, though.
I'm not saying that any of the other... oops, sorry. I'm not saying that any of the other Legend of Zelda games are bad. I'm just saying that when I think of The Legend of Zelda and where it could go, I think a Skyrim-like game with the same kind of themes and environment, maybe, would make sense.
Did you guys see the... Well, yeah, I think it's going that way. Did you guys see the trailer for it?
Oh, yeah.
Vaguely.
I have not.
It's fucking beautiful. They show a short clip of a random encounter with basically a boss status enemy.
Like that little spider thing, and...
Yeah, in the open world, so...
That
I
would
think
sounds
that's gonna be
fun.
pretty cool.
That will be
Yeah.
cool. That will definitely
looking
be
for
cool.
As long as we don't have to burn a random bush in order to gain access to a super important item.
I'm sure they've gotten past that. I hope. I don't know.
I mean,
On a
I don't
on
know.
a total side note, Bethesda and Miyamoto, please get together and make this happen. Okay, so moving on. There has been a leaked clip for what will possibly be a movie for Deadpool. If anyone is a fan of
you
About
Deadpool,
say
time.
leaked. This is not the one we saw before.
I don't.
Deadpool's
don't
already
know.
been established.
It's very possible. I also kind of live in a media blackout, and literally last night at work,
Mhm,
somebody said,
mhm.
"Hey, this is a leaked CGI trailer of Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool," and I was really skeptical because, like, when Ryan Reynolds played Deadpool last in whatever X-Men movie it was, I was like, don't know, we'll see. But this one I saw,
I am
looks-
going
looks
to
like
defend
it could
Are you
work.
serious?
Reynolds.
You don't know if Ryan Reynolds is going to be a good Deadpool? Is that what you're saying?
I'm defending the hell out of Ryan Reynolds because he makes a
He will
very,
make
very
the perfect fucking
Yes.
Deadpool.
Yeah,
he was
you know-
created
I want to see
for that
Nicolas
role.
Cage as
Yeah, I
Deadpool.
also-
the movie that Deadpool was in was a very, very bad movie. That is
Okay.
not
Yeah,
his fault.
yes, but he did an amazing fucking job as Deadpool, and just his general style of humor. Okay, so I
Of the
looked
actors
up
I
and
could
Googled
trust with that
Deadpool
role.
movie. Collider says that there's an official logo revealed. It's full steam ahead on the film. Ryan Reynolds said on Twitter, and I quote, "With great power comes great irresponsibility. Hashtag Deadpool, hashtag official suit at Deadpool movie." Yeah, this is, yeah. IGN has the Deadpool costume revealed. It's set for 2016 with Ryan Reynolds.
And like the Deadpool movie was part of the large Marvel slate that they've already been talking about and
Yeah.
releasing.
Yeah, well, my takeaway from even just that clip I saw was more like it just pretty much reestablished my whole notion with, okay, you know what? This could work. He could do a great
Was it,
job with it.
Was it the one where like they're on the freeway and
And
he
with
jumps
that
in that car?
SUV and beating
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
and
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, "Hola,
It was fucking
amigos.
great, yeah.
My name is the Pool of Death." And yeah, that one, yeah, I like that. I thought that was great. I thought if they just kind of base everything around that and they keep that same kind of humor, yeah, Deadpool's gonna work.
But the parts of X-Men Origins Wolverine where Deadpool had a mouth, he was a very good Deadpool.
That's the one it was. Yeah.
As soon as he lost his mouth, everything was out the window.
Yeah.
Exactly. Maybe that's why they were like, "Oh God, we can't write comedy. I've got an idea. Let's shut his mouth, and let's see."
Essentially, yeah.
Good luck.
Okay.
I was pleasantly surprised by the Deadpool game, so I mean, I never even knew Deadpool existed before then because I'm not a huge comic guy, but all the stuff I've seen surrounding Deadpool has made me hopeful for his character, and I think with the sudden surge of good superhero movies lately, I think it's going to be pretty good. I think it's going to be decent.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has renewed faith in Wolverine Origins, or not Wolverine, but
Whatever the last one was.
X-Men Days of Future Past, because that was a really, really good movie, and everybody loved it.
I've heard good things
Also,
about it. I
Guardians
never
of the
saw
Galaxy.
it. I don't know. I haven't seen movies. I don't really go to see movies anymore. I live
It
under
might
a
be on
brick.
Netflix.
2015 is proving to be the year of renewed faith.
Yes.
I hope so. That would be nice. Oh well. Anyways, so we
Back to games.
back to game. Yeah, let's go ahead and go on with games. Let's go ahead and go on with games. Do we want to open the can of worms, talking about everything new that is coming up in the Halo franchise?
I think we should start not with Halo, but with Metal Gear.
Oh, Hideo.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and get into that. Yeah, we all have a couple of topics that we have brought to the table today. Okay, Stuart, I believe you have something to bring to the table real quick.
Yeah, Hideo Kojima has officially managed to succeed in becoming a sausage. He has managed
Is
to
that the
transform-
official headline? Is that the official headline?
Yes, he has managed to perfect the art of transforming into a sausage.
And does he say things as a sausage?
No,
or-
I think he might have gotten lost because we haven't heard from him in a while. So,
And who's that according to? Who says that?
Well, the fact is that-
according to the internet.
yeah, so Hideo Kojima has a bit of a habit of being a Twitter maniac, posting pictures of sausages, and I don't really think anything else except if
Really? Pictures of sausages?
He really
That's what
likes
he's been
sausages.
posting?
He's
Metal Gear
super
Sausage
into
5.
sausage.
Do you
Yeah.
Metal
think
Gear Sausage 5.
I
Do you
want the
think
knife to be replaced
he-
with a sausage. Please, Kojima. If you look on the promotional artwork for Metal Gear Solid 5 on the Metal Gear Solid 5 homepage, it used to say that it was a Hideo Kojima production on all of them. You will not see that anymore.
All gone.
Yeah, I know his name has been taken off of that. I also know that earlier, I think it was during whenever they were making Revengeance, that he passed off his lead duties. Because I don't remember exactly what it was for. I don't know if it was E3 or some other conference, but he said, "Oh, just like the way that Snake passed off his leadership to Raiden in this one, I am passing off my whatever to this guy." And I don't remember exactly what it was. I don't know if maybe I'm remembering that incorrectly. I don't know. Do you know anything about what that was? Because I know they're like his name isn't there anymore. They are not
So,
Hideo Kojima.
There's a
games.
lot of conflicting
So-
information coming from a lot of different sources, but the main thought right now is that Kojima is leaving Konami. And
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing right now. Hideo Kojima is rumored to be leaving Konami later this year. Konami as well as Kojima have both said that the designer will remain involved in the Phantom Pain.
And it's not really
yeah,
rumored.
it's kind of confirmed.
It's pretty
Kojima's
set.
name has been taken off almost everything, including like the board of operations
yeah, that's
list.
the biggest thing that worries me, because the biggest issue I have in all of this is that we will no longer be having Silent Hills, because he's taking the Fox engine with him.
When
Oh my
when was
God.
the last time
Yeah.
a Silent Hill was developed?
Well, because PT is playable trailer. That was the proof of concept for the next Silent Hill. That was supposed to be Kojima,
Del Toro.
Guillermo del Toro, and who else?
That one guy from...
That's totally right.
Yeah.
Wasn't that announced at like this last Comic-Con or whatever?
It was big news, kind of a little bit ago, but that's in free fall at the moment.
Okay.
Which really
I
disappointing.
wasn't really sure of exactly what was going on, but
Yeah, I'm extremely sad, because
Oh.
even though I'm not a huge Silent Hills fan, I played the second one and loved it, but haven't really played any since. I was wanting to get into Silent Hills again because Kojima's working on the new one, so it's got to be good, right? Because Kojima's our overlord, right? All hail Kojima, right? I totally don't have
Well-
a laser dot on my head, right?
all
Yeah.
hail Kojima.
This is gonna sound really lame, but I've never played the games. I really liked the first movie. Never
It
saw the
was
second one. Not
decent.
going to.
I mean,
It was watchable to an extent, but I mean,
Watch
you
Kind-
it.
can't
yeah.
really
It was
translate that
watchable.
type of horror into a movie, because the interactive element is what makes
Yeah.
Silent Hill so fucking terrifying.
It's gone. Yeah. But I really did enjoy the first one. I thought the first one was a very well-made movie. And there's been very few video game to movie adaptations that I've enjoyed. That was one of them. The very first Resident Evil I enjoyed. Not so much the rest of them, but I enjoyed that.
And then
so.
Chronicles of Riddick, and then we have the entire list.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that was oh god.
And that is
That was the
all
thing.
3 of the video game to movie good things.
The only
But
ones.
yeah.
And there's have there been any good ones going the other way? Movie to video
No,
game?
not
What do
that I
you guys think? Is it-
X-Men Origins Wolverine was said to be a very good game. I did not play it, but I have heard a lot of really good things about
Well,
it.
Ooh.
I mean, the second Spider-Man game for the
I was
PlayStation 2.
literally
Oh,
about to say
absolutely.
Spider-Man 2 for the PS2. Spider-Man 2.
Because you
that
could web
was the
sling
shit.
everywhere.
Yeah, and they did it correctly. I don't think they've done it correctly since. Tell
No,
me
they
if I'm
haven't.
wrong.
How
but
does shot web? Apparently, no one knows
Is it-
because
Is it pull left
Spider-
trigger?
Spider-Man is not a fighting superhero. He does fighting is not in his main repertoire. He just is a wise
he does it,
ass.
but it's not. Yeah,
swings
that's not
around
what
a
he
lot.
focuses on.
His
Yeah.
his cleverness is very much more heavy than
He's
his
more like,
fighting
hey, I'm gonna
prowess.
web this truck and throw it at you. Then, oh, I'm gonna put web on my fist and beat you up.
But yeah, Spider-Man games have
That's clever.
very much become the same as Sonic games.
Oh, rest in
no.
peace.
Recently.
That's another can of worms. Stop opening all these. There's worms everywhere.
Generations,
God.
you
Alright,
played with my
so-
heart.
No, no.
You gave me hope.
I can't
I'm
do
doing
this.
this.
Why did you betray me?
Shout out to Albino Black Sheep.
Oh god.
Is that still a
No.
thing?
Yeah.
I fucking hope so.
It
is.
amazes me how everybody of like the late 90s and early 2000s had the exact same internet growing up.
Experience. Yeah.
Albino
Right.
Black Sheep Newgrounds and stupidvideos.com.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Ego Raptor.
Like who?
No,
who out
he's
of us-
still doing shit.
He is.
He
Hush.
is. Okay, but no.
I love it.
Like,
Anyway.
has everyone here seen End of the World?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Oh
of
my
course.
God.
I
Back
felt
when
that- see,
YouTube
for the
didn't
longest-
exist, it was
yeah.
Flash
The
videos on
Ultimate Showdown.
Newgrounds.
I
Yes.
felt like for the longest time that was a niche video, but I came to realize that everyone in the world who grew
Everyone.
up.
Like,
You know what makes
I've
me
worked
sad?
in multiple jobs, and anytime somebody just says, okay, I always go, okay, here's the Earth, and everybody knows what I'm
Oh
talking
god,
about.
more cans of worms. No.
Yeah.
So
Or
listen,
I am
the one thing that makes
tired.
me
Yeah.
terribly sad is that this current generation will grow up with Gangnam Style, Swing My Sword, and what's the other bad one? Oh, what does the fox
swing
say?
my sword?
Oh god.
I don't want
Are
to
you
know.
talking about
Don't fucking
Tobuscus?
tell me. I don't
Yeah,
care.
I don't like Tobuscus. I'm sorry. I just
I like
God
I
damn
like
it,
his
I'm gonna
parody
look it up.
stuff, and I like his literal trailers. But
Hello, everybody. My name's Stuart. I'm the most controversial part of this group, and you can feel free to send me hate messages. 'Cause
I
I'll
don't-
probably
Are you
read
sure?
them and
I'm
cry
pretty sure I
myself.
was directly hating on fucking Furkin. Directly, maybe.
I hate everything
unintentionally,
equally.
I think I trumped that by hating on Mass Effect 2.
Did you?
I think I've garnered more hate than all of you.
but
Well-
what don't you like
I have
about
to say
Mass
something
I
Effect?
really
stand by
controversial.
you only a little bit, but yes, sort of.
You
No, I think-
deflector.
I like
Ah.
Tobuscus, just not Swing My Sword.
I
Because that
Well,
was...
I've heard of about a lot of I've heard of a lot of hate for Mass Effect 2. Actually, I
Many-
don't know.
many
what
different
do you
reasons.
hate about it?
the fact that you could be gay. I'm just kidding. I don't.
I was like,
Uh,
whoa,
Yeah.
mega controversy.
Just lost all 3 of our viewers. No, I think that's great. I think the greatest thing you can do in regards to, homosexuality in video games is to not draw attention to it. Just give them the option.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, it
that's
should be a
the-
natural part because it's it's part of life.
It's
So-
like with Skyrim, you
Oh,
can
wait, what?
marry someone of your own gender, and it's like no one even fucking cares. It's just like,
yeah,
okay.
you can do it in,
Everybody but
Dragon Age
Nintendo
too,
is
right?
making the right decisions.
Well, there used to be a glitch where you can have same-sex marriage in Tomodachi Life, but they were like, oh god, oh no.
Well, it wasn't a glitch. It was just you were selecting the Miis as the wrong gender.
Oh.
You can upload a female Mii and just say that it's a male.
Well,
Darren,
Nintendo
send
was
that
so
last
squeaky
one
clean.
again.
Oh. That wasn't really necessary.
What did
I
you
was
put
just
in the Skype? What is it? What is this shit?
You see, I can't see it because for some reason.
What?
I accidentally
No.
canceled it.
that was the search that I was a
Darren,
little bit too happy with.
Please. No. I warned you about this.
For
I
our
am a
viewers
sorcerer.
wondering what's going on, there is a picture on our little Skype chat
Why is it drawn
of
so well?
Darren the Hedgehog.
Yes.
Why
Oh
does
my
this
God.
have actually good artwork? Why is
I
this
know.
shaded
Right?
well?
This is people put time into
Oh
this.
my god. Why do you have
Darren, are
Uh,
you an artist in your spare time?
No, hold on,
look
hold
how
on.
well
Making character
designed his
models for the
outfit
next
is, too.
Sonic?
Why does he have
I'm
Doom's
gonna
eye
say,
on his head?
hold on, give me a sec. This is.
This is amazing.
I'm going to spell out the name because I'm not gonna
Just
be
do
able to
Darren the
pronounce it.
Hedgehog.
It's LIYUCONBERMA on DeviantArt.
Wow, this is actually really good, and I hate that.
It's a picture of Darren the Hedgehog, and he has 3 eyes and looks like
He's
a
got
sorcerer.
Doom's eye for some reason.
He looks like
Yeah,
a
he's- yeah, Doom's
steampunk
Eye.
warlock.
Yeah, steampunk,
Okay, can we
that's what
please
I
move
said.
on
and
before I
I
have an
love it.
aneurysm?
Oh God.
Alright, what's our next topic? Jesus Christ. Griffball. Oh, I can't
Our
talk about
next-
this because I don't
Our
play
next
Halo.
topic is brought to you by our own friend Ruben. And Ruben,
Hey, guys.
we've been doing a little bit of exactly what we're about to talk about. We've been doing a little bit of it over the last several weeks, and back well, it was probably about a year ago or so that we really got into this, and we're fair friends with some of the guys who run this, but I'm stealing your intro, so why don't you go ahead and go ahead.
So
Go ahead and go ahead.
I'm always late to the show, oftentimes, and I was really late to this game, this meta game called Griffball. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's
Absolutely.
it's a game within the Halo franchise created by the longest running web series on the internet,
That's
Red vs.
debatable.
Blue, which was created by Rooster Teeth, which we all love Rooster Teeth.
Is that official?
Are they really the longest?
Well-
Yeah, it's officially the longest running web series
I don't-
on the internet.
Cool.
Huh.
Yeah, that's
Right.
See,
absolutely
I played
official.
Halo for the longest
Yeah.
time. Like, I've played all of them except 4 and ODST.
4 is visually beautiful.
Oh.
Thanks in a lot part to I think
I
it's
played the
Bank
first
Studios.
level of 4, but nothing beyond that, really.
That one's good.
I haven't played much of the campaign. But anyways, so there was this joke in a fucking PSA for Red vs. Blue, and it turned into a legitimate game that the creators made called Griffball, and it's a sport within the game, so a meta game, a sport within the multiplayer, very similar to rugby, and I it's sort of like
It
lacrosse,
looks awesome.
I don't know a lot. Anyways,
it can
yeah.
be.
It is absolutely amazing. It is so much fun. It is the best metagame I've ever played, ever, in any game. It's a sport within a first-person shooter, which I think is fantastic. And I
It's
recently,
a lot of fun.
yeah, I recently picked up a copy of Halo 4 for like $5 at a local video game reseller.
Late to the game.
Yeah, late. I waited until Halo 4 was $5.
Fair
Cheap
enough.
ass.
Sucks for all you guys who spent fucking 60, 80, 100, whatever.
I spent 400 because I got the Halo 4 Xbox
Jesus
360.
Oh my god.
Christ.
Well, that's about the correct time to get an Xbox.
I can safely say I did not spend $400 on the entire conglomeration of things I needed to play this game.
Well, I got the Halo 4 360 because my old Xbox was dying, and I
Well,
knew I was.
So
going
it
to
wasn't the
need one.
first one. That's the most
No,
important
no,
part.
no. This is actually like 360 number 10.
Damn.
Well,
I had a
That's
lot
dedication,
of problems
man.
Quit abusing
with the
that shit.
first 2 generations of Xboxes, because I had 4 360s before the Christmas or like at the Christmas of launch year.
4
'cause
of
the-
them?
Yeah, well, because they all had the problem with the red ring.
When?
Like, 'cause the
Do we know when in that year
first-
that it launched? I thought it didn't. It launch near the holiday season.
just about, I think.
Give me a sec.
You went through 4 of them being Christmas.
That's bad.
I gotta say, the Xbox 360 has not really won me over to Microsoft's side.
I
I didn't think the Red Ring became prolific until a bit later.
Until the other generation
No.
of it. Yeah, well.
Like the actual first Xbox, the Xbox One for real. I love the shit out of that.
I don't know.
enjoyed it. I remember
Battlefront.
the very we can't talk about that right now. I'm
It
sorry.
launched November 22nd, 2005.
Yeah, that's a month before Christmas. You went through 4 of them in a month.
That's still, to developers, that's still Christmas season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, that is the
To
that's
developers, it's always Christmas season.
Anyways,
Griffball.
Griffball. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
I was really late to the game, but I picked up Halo 4 on a whim, the same way I picked up GTA 5 and shit. Just like, I feel like playing Halo. Oh, hey, Halo 4 is $5. I'll fucking grab it. And I had always, I had heard about Griffball because I follow Red vs. Blue, I follow Rooster Teeth and all that. But I had never played it and didn't really know, what it was. But it's very similar to rugby, very similar to, lacrosse and stuff. 4-on-4, you have to get the ball in the goal. You have to manually transport it into the goal in most game types. And I fell in love with it, honestly, I think, because I feel like I'm pretty good at it. And it's so much fun because of that.
We've done pretty well whenever we've been playing together. But Darren and I go back with Griffball.
We go way back, to the beginning, because we got in, right on the tail end of the Rooster Teeth sponsored tournaments.
Yeah, the very first ones that ever came up, I think it was, and that was Halo 3.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was Halo 3 when it started to become a thing. They really did well with it during Reach, I feel. They started coming out with these different game types, with these different ways that we can integrate a couple of these new skills that you get with these weapons, and just, hey, let's think of different ways we can go about this. And they did really well with that.
And the version for Reach is, I'm going to say, the most fun.
I feel
but Halo 4 has become the most technical.
They've got the most options and the most things you can go through in 4, which is still good. But just because of our experience with how it developed over Reach is probably why we like it so much. I mean, it's still there in Halo 4, but we're always going to remember exactly how it was with Reach, and even still, to this day, it holds up. It really holds up well.
I'm sorry about the dog barking, but I just love the simplicity of the game, because it's really just you, a couple people, some gravity hammers, and a ball. I mean, there's not really any complex strategies. It's mostly just reading your opponents.
And it still makes for a hell of a game, yeah.
But there is some strategy involved, too. If you want to get really in-depth, there can be a lot of strategy, or it can be completely chaotic and non-strategized. And I think that's really awesome. It has that potential for either side. I definitely think it's the best game within a game that to ever exist.
I don't know. That's debatable. It depends on your...
What would you compare it to?
Well, I mean, are we talking about game modes created by the original developers, or accidental?
No, by
metagames.
Metagames.
Games within games.
Yeah, this is...
Um,
It became developer for Reach. They...
Well, yeah, they...
Bungie and 343 really took a hold of it.
Yeah.
Because they're super close with the Rooster Teeth guys.
Exactly. Yeah, they're all pretty buddy with each other, and they play off of each other. They know how to work it, and shit, they do a good job at it. I mean, and now you move to Griffball Hub, who almost officially runs all of the Griffball stuff. Yeah, they are the Griffball Hub.
They're still a very small time operation.
Yeah.
But they're getting more popularity as Halos go on. And I think with one of these past seasons, they were actually doing prize money for the pro circuit for Griffball. For the championship team.
Do you imagine that this game mode will gain enough of a following to, I guess, merit its own legitimate game? Not like a game mode, but
do you think
an
it
actual
hasn't
game.
yet?
So Counter-Strike and
Yeah, kind of
Call of
along
Duty.
those same lines.
What
Maybe not as a full $60 release game, but maybe like a $20 stocking stuffer or whatever.
along those
Arcade.
lines, I would much prefer a like a Nazi Zombies standalone.
What?
Rather than
I see what you mean.
That
just
would make
like-
sense. Yeah.
I would really like Treyarch to just do a zombies game and like make a good story for it, because like what they have now and like what they've done in the past, it's really good. But I just hate at this point Call of Duty.
Anyways, we should probably move on to our next topic. before we
Maybe.
take too much
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. We are well past the hour mark now, but whatever. So,
A
anyways.
topic I'm actually really interested in.
Okay. Yeah. Darren, you have something to bring to the table, don't you?
This was just kind of a general discussion, and it's a lot of my examples are stuff we've already talked about. I wanted to do like a stylized versus photorealism. A lot of my thoughts
and what
came to me-
medium this would be for the gaming medium,
yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, for gaming.
Really
It,
could
like a
apply
lot
to
of those
any
games
medium.
like included the Call of Duties, including Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, it's one
And
of the
then,
reasons I love the game so much.
Yeah, and in
The
not
art style.
first-person shooter land, like Skyrim versus Kingdoms of Amalur.
Emily.
Yeah,
Todd McFarlane Spawn.
like in
Not that that's a bad thing. No, I had that game. I played it. It was wonderful. So that's my take.
like something that a lot of people probably wouldn't recognize is that Skyrim and Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning came out within a couple months of each other, or a few months.
Oh my
One
god,
was,
that's right. Yeah. One was Skyrim was November, and that one was at
Skyrim was 11/11/11, and
Yeah.
Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning was February 2012.
Can I say something that will piss a lot of people off?
Go ahead.
Absolutely.
I said no.
As if I wasn't going to already.
Right.
Anyways, I am not stunned by Skyrim's graphics.
No. We're
Okay,
gonna
well,
agree
yeah.
because Skyrim has aged poorly.
Yeah, it
and
was
that's one
released
of
like a couple of years ago, and it's already like,
It is
ugh.
Okay, we
ugly as
are-
crap.
Just for clarification, we are holding only to the consoles, right?
No,
Yeah,
even the
well,
PC version, I have all the HD textures, and it still suffers from a lot of past gen hiccups.
Yeah, like some of it, you'll see screenshots on the internet, but those don't show what it's doing running video.
It's
It's still very not great.
because on this topic of photorealistic versus stylized, I felt like Oblivion was a bit more stylized. Like it was trying to go
It
for
is,
a more
and it's-
fantasy
Yeah, absolutely.
environment.
And it's aged so much better than
Mhm.
Skyrim
Even though
has.
the Britons look really weird for some reason to me.
Well,
Yeah, a little bit.
so
Friends
I
look like
have
men.
I have Oblivion
But-
for my PC, and I've got to say the character creation on that, I swear to God, is some of the ugliest fucking characters
Oh,
I've
yeah,
But
ever
at the
that's pretty
but
bad.
at the time, like
It
that was
may
a
be
thing
ugly,
to do. Like, it
but
was
there was a
cool.
lot of it.
There was.
It was
That was
extremely
impressive for its
detailed.
times. Skyrim felt like it was a bit behind, even when it came out. Like I remember getting it midnight
Or,
release, taking it home, and being like, did I mess up installing it? 'Cause it looked a bit blurry, and I was running it on high settings.
What did Rick? You did the beta for ESO, right?
I did the beta for ESO
I did
on
as well.
my
Yeah, I did as well.
low power PC.
Chugga
I mean-
chugga woo woo.
And that's basically
It
exactly
sounded like
what
a
my
computer dying.
yeah. Well, I really all I wanted to do. I'm like, oh yeah, I wanna try out the next title that is the Elder Scrolls because, like I can't say I'm the biggest fan, but I've been playing since Morrowind, and yeah, whatever. It's the third one. I didn't play the first two, whatever. But
Well, those were old and only for PC.
exactly,
So
like
much.
I'm not a PC gamer. I will not claim to be one, but I did get to try out the beta for ESO, and I did that for 2 days. Now,
I
I
both
think I
of
did it
those
for
days,
a day. I think I played once.
Yeah,
I played it once and I couldn't get back in.
Sounds
that's
about right.
the whole thing about it. Like I tried it, and I tried it, I didn't like it, and I thought, well, you know what? My first impression might be lying to me. Maybe everyone was trying to get in. Ruben, stop dropping things, and so.
I thought it was just like, okay, it's still, this is probably just the most stable they can get it. They're just working out the kinks and allowing
Exactly,
people to
yeah.
play gameplay.
That was my thought. That was
And
my
then-
thought process, and that's the only reason why I tried it again. I thought, well, maybe they fixed up things within a day. I don't know. And I tried it.
No.
Yeah,
No
and then the game
difference.
released, and I'm like, oh no.
I
I
feel
mean-
really bad for ESO because it was immediately broken by all of
They
the mean
tried
people
so
on the internet.
hard.
They did.
I have to say, I have a lot of respect for the people that made that game because they actually tried, but they just didn't have, I guess, maybe the resources or the force behind it to make it work. But you can definitely see that there was effort at least put into it, despite what many people will say.
Yeah, and they tried to give the internet what it wanted. Like everybody said, Skyrim but multiplayer.
It just doesn't work. I'm sorry.
It doesn't. No,
It's like Fallout
Yeah,
with
but
multiplayer.
the internet doesn't know. Like, it'll demand these things, but they don't realize that if we give it to you, you will be disappointed. I guarantee. How long have people been clamoring for a Pokemon MMO or
Oh my god,
or a
no.
Pokemon in Skyrim sort of like
That
mashup?
even work.
I will
Like-
actually defend the Pokemon MMO because
No.
like there was actually a fan created Poke MMO
Yeah,
that
I've
used
played that.
okay
yeah.
that used like the
Was
Fire
it the
Red.
Minecraft one?
No. This was it was using the ROMs for Fire Red and
And Leaf
Heart
Ring.
Gold.
Oh wait, what?
Oh, I know
Oh,
what you're
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
That was impressive. An immediate. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That was pretty good. I
So,
was
dude, tell
impressed.
us about this, please.
Well, I mean, it definitely worked, and people did like it, but it didn't pick up steam because it's a story that everybody's played to
And
exhaustion.
It's also fan made. They want, like, the internet wants Nintendo and Game Freaks to make this badass fucking Pokemon MMO or this badass 3D full Pokemon game like they are on the handhelds, and it's not going to happen. And if it does, nobody's going to be satisfied with it.
Well,
It's not going to reach the internet's par.
I'm
so-
also going to say one more thing that the internet wants that is a correct one, is that everybody wants a Pokemon Snap 2.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
yeah,
I didn't even
and
like
that
Pokemon
can
Snap,
happen,
but I
and the
want one.
Wii U has the perfect shit to do it with. And come on, Nintendo.
I mean,
That's
that and their
free
like
money.
like
You might as well
the
be
new Fatal Frame has
Mhm,
been
mhm,
talked about and been in development, and everybody's just like trying to jump onto Nintendo for that. It's like,
I cannot
you're
wait to
giving
play
us a
that
new
game.
Fatal Frame. Give us the new Pokemon
I
Snap.
can't wait
We
to
know
play
you
that
can
game,
do it.
get scared, turn it off, and never pick it back up again.
Like, and I've done some research on to like the non regular Pokemon games, and Pokemon Snap is actually one of the best selling games. It's right behind Pokemon Stadium and Stadium 2,
Yeah, I
but
believe that.
far in front of Pokemon Rangers and Pokemon Mystery Dungeons. And
Dude,
both
I don't
of
even know
those,
what those are.
I actually played Mystery
Yeah.
Dungeons.
I
They're
know
not bad.
of Mystery Dungeon, or Rangers. I've heard of it, but
Never played.
but
Yeah,
that's
but-
actually yeah, okay. So I didn't know that Pokemon Stadium 2 was a thing until probably about 2 or 3 years ago.
Pokemon Stadium is much better than Stadium 1, and like I would only play those for the minigames, and
Exactly. Yeah.
absolutely
Well,
love
yeah.
the minigames for both of them.
If you want a Pokemon Stadium game that you actually play for the Pokemon battling and not the minigames, check
Why
out.
would you do that?
No, but for real, check out Pokemon Coliseum for the Wii.
Right,
It's,
right.
Yeah, it goes all the way up to 4th gen. You can import your own Pokemon that you've trained up to Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and it looks beautiful. It looks amazing. It's very Pokemon Stadium-esque, as in there's not like a full RPG story, but you can battle with the Pokemon that you have. Even 2v2, 2 Pokemon for each trainer on screen. And you can, of course, battle against you can battle against CPU players and other actual players. Really fun game. Looks amazing. I love the animations on there.
Would you say it's aged well graphically?
It's what?
Aged well graphically?
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, because it's a stylized sort of graphics, that kind of makes it age well, I think. I understand your argument about Skyrim for it not aging well because it's going for realism, and a lot of games that go for realism,
issue.
yeah, they don't
when it
age
comes
well.
to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
A lot of games that go for realism, they don't age well compared to games that are stylistic. Look at Wind Waker versus
Twilight Princess.
Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
Those things that the
Yeah.
gameplay has aged well.
Yeah,
well,
absolutely, but visually they have not.
Well, I
I've
mean,
actually,
visually, everything is going to improve.
Well,
Gameplay is something that you can kind of construct. Yeah, you'll have your capabilities of you can do different things with next gen and this, but visually, like there's always I feel like there's always something that you'll be able to do better as tech progresses.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Well, I've been
But-
playing Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, and I'm incredibly impressed with the graphics engine behind it. And I think we've gotten to the point in technology where we can we're finally getting out of that uncanny valley, and we're making some truly realistic games. Like PT, I think is probably as close as we're going to get to photorealism for a while. And I
You say
think that a lot of the issues that older games suffered in terms of photorealism are going to be mitigated by recent technology, because, Oblivion, I love it, but it does still kind of go for realism, and you can tell that it kind of has to fall back on its more stylized aspects, because, the characters just look god-awful.
Yeah, but you remember, like, at the time that Oblivion came out, we thought, oh my god, this is the most amazing thing ever. This looks so wonderful, because that's exactly what we knew was amazing at that point in time. So
I still feel like it was...
that might also... It may have also just been me thinking, oh my god, this is amazing. This looks so great. This looks so real. So, if we have the same mentality of that now, imagine what comes out like 5, even like 10 years in the future to when, like, we're going to be looking back at 2015 and thinking, wow, that looked awful. Look at what it looks like now. This is
I look at
2020.
Skyrim now and says that looks awful.
Like,
Well,
I'm looking forward to the day where I look at the Division and go, oh my god, this looks like shit.
Oh,
Or 19... or Order 18... 20,
1886, whatever it is, yeah.
1886. That actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, what's PS4?
And if you guys are interested, I actually have Pokemon sales numbers for main entry and spin-off.
Ooh.
Let's hear them.
Okay, so we have the original Red Balloon Green, 31 and a third million. And then we have the Yellow Special Edition that was just below 15.
15?
Yeah, 15 million.
Even still, yeah.
And then we have the Gold, Silver, 23, and then Crystal 6. And then we have Stadium, like the first kind of spin-off. We have a 5.5, and Stadium 2, 2.5.
Really? That's
Yeah. Let's see. And Pokemon Snap. Pokemon Snap is 3.63. But then and now I'm going to work into the less popular ones that have gotten, let's see, we have Mystery Dungeon, it's gotten 4, Mystery Dungeon has 4 entries, and Pokemon Ranger has 3. Let's see, one of those is above, 2 of those entries are above 3 million in sales.
wow.
That's impressive.
And
People
like
love
all of
Pokemon.
the recent ones, between 2009 and now, none of the Mystery Dungeon or Rangers have gotten above 1.75 million.
Well,
Like
obviously,
really weak sales.
Like 30 times less than the highest sales.
Well, do you think that these games would benefit from a remastering? Like, not games that pay homage, but actual remasterings of older Pokemon games.
I mean, like they kind of did that with like the Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and then
Right.
the Fire Red Leaf Green, and
And
those did
now-
well.
Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah.
But do you think they'll benefit from this, or do you think it's just gonna be,
No, it's I think with everything we have now, a like a Pokemon Snap remake will not satiate the want for a new Pokemon Snap game.
Yeah, if I've ever, I can't speak. If the internet has taught me anything, is that there's very low chance of a niche game being remastered or having a sequel, with a few exceptions. Like, I know Grim Fandango got a remaster not too long ago, and people were like, wait, what? When? Oh, awesome.
Nintendo and like the Pokemon team have done it, and they're still doing it much to their dismay. I think my opinion for like their strongest outcoming would be to release like a $5-10 remake of Pokemon Snap while they're working on a new Pokemon Snap game.
Wasn't there like a...
Shit, I would buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would drum up so much attention and so much frenzy for a Pokemon Snap game that everybody already wants. I think that would be the only circumstance where a Pokemon Snap remake would work.
Listen to us, Nintendo. We're giving you sales advice. Genius sales advice.
Well, you see,
you'll make millions off
I've already
of
had
this.
my heart broken by the Mega Man Legends 3 cancellation, because I was super behind that. It's one of my favorite titles.
Yeah.
Or Mega Man Legends 2 was one of my favorite titles on the PlayStation.
And it's super
but
rare.
It taught me that when it comes to small communities around games like that aren't too widely known, Pokemon Snap being included, the chances of them being even, remembered by their original companies is very low, because, it's so much easier just to remake one of the classic Pokemon games, because more people
that had
aware of it.
30 plus million sales. Yeah.
I'm going to say without a doubt that Nintendo knows that the internet wants a new Pokemon Snap, because a lot of the famous YouTubers that are strictly Nintendo have had to sign the strictly Nintendo agreements, and there's been a lot of controversy over how not in the present Nintendo has been about their the video posting for Pokemon stuff, and to where a lot of games have Microsoft and Sony and for the PlayStation, they agree that the personalities playing the games are what matter, and the personalities will get additional sales for them. And Nintendo doesn't seem to grasp it. They think that the people are watching for the games and not the personalities.
Yeah, actually, that was kind of something that... Who made Smash?
Everyone made Smash. I don't know.
I think that might have been.
Well, he said that he didn't want to include anything like the Subspace Emissary in 4 because he was pissed off that people were putting up videos of the story on the internet. And it's like, come on, really?
I think that's a problem, because you definitely have the people who are just uploading gameplay and cutscenes with no talking, no face cam or whatever.
Basically
Maybe
just...
you should focus more on gameplay than story. I enjoy story in a game. Well, I enjoy it quite a bit, but if the gameplay doesn't complement it, or if the story doesn't complement the gameplay, then what the fuck's the point? If you can get the entire experience just from watching the plot, or the Subspace Emissary, then what point do I have to even play it in the first place?
Well, I think it depends.
The Last of Us, I think, is the best example of this, because, you could watch all the trailers and the cutscenes of that game and be like, okay, I understand the story, but you won't actually be able to feel a connection with anybody in that game unless you play through it, because you're actively interacting with them through gameplay, and they benefit you in gameplay, and you feel something because you're like, oh shit, I don't want them to die, not because story reasons, because I don't want to die.
I have a personal connection.
Do it.
I agree with that, even though at first I was going to disagree. But to touch back on something we were
You
speaking
changed
of,
his opinion, wow.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, good job. I was going to say that my playthrough of this new Tomb Raider reboot, I felt that a lot of the gameplay was almost unnecessary because it was such a cinematic game. It feels
That's my biggest pet peeve.
Well, but
games.
I enjoyed that, and I still do enjoy that. It feels to me like the movie that Angelina Jolie never made. but that should have been made. And I've been I've been really enjoying the gameplay and the cinematic kind of like way that it's presented.
Yeah, like you kind of have to go into those thinking more of like I'm watching a movie rather than
that's how it felt to me. I feel like the gameplay isn't too terribly difficult, like at all, and it's pretty linear, so it feels very cinematic, like a movie, which I enjoyed at first. But I get what you're saying, because spoiler alerts for those who haven't played the game. There's a couple characters that die in there that are pretty like main characters. They're part of the main cast, and
I'd say so.
I just didn't give a shit. I was
In
just
what
like,
game?
sucks, you're stupid. In Tomb Raider, in the remake, the new one.
Because, like,
There's-
whatever, I'm just gonna go over here and shoot some more guys and progress the story.
because you don't interact with those characters very much, and it's kind of part of the entire storyline.
You
that
wanna
you
know the
don't,
truth?
because you've been separated. You're trying to get back together with them and stuff.
I don't remember
and
a single
shit.
name of any of the other characters in the Tomb Raider game.
Oh God, I almost do, but
Name
this was a while ago.
here's a better challenge. Name any other character aside from Lara Croft in any of the original Tomb Raider games.
The tiger.
The
Oh,
bear
God.
that fucked me up in that pit.
The bats.
Those
Roth. I remember Roth.
Was he in the original ones?
What
I
about,
don't know.
What about,
he was in the new one.
those velociraptors.
Winston.
Velociraptors. Yes.
There you
and,
go. Well,
So that kind of
was
ruined
Winston
your point.
in the movies?
I
don't
actually
know.
have
Who the
nothing
fuck's
to
Winston?
add for Tomb Raider. I have not played it.
It's
I
actually
downloaded.
not bad. I enjoyed it. I mean, I don't think it's a
The
Tomb Raider
new
game
one
at
is
all.
very, very good.
I don't think it's a Tomb Raider game.
I give it a solid 8.
Tomb Raider.
If
I
you
don't
liked, well, and it's free. It's
Well,
free
it
now.
was.
so-
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's
it's not free
that's the
anymore.
only reason I got it.
Tomb Raider is
Yeah.
I
about.
don't
you-
like
if you have
Lara
it-
Croft as Tomb Raider.
Well,
I honestly don't think she's super
This-
attractive
This
at all.
character.
Well,
is
you're
very
weird.
different.
I'll
This character
take
is
that.
very different from the over-sexualized. This is an attractive girl doing adventure
badass
shit.
things.
if I press
It's
enough
very different.
buttons, I'll make her naked.
Yeah, but like they don't do that in this game. In this game, she's grimy and gritty and dirty, and she's an attractive
getting
girl.
she's
but
getting
she's
the
not
hell beat out
sexualized.
of her. Is
Fuck,
their
yeah,
whole
she
thing?
I
is.
forget.
Like this is the first thing
I
she's ever done that's been her real adventurous whatever. And like the first time she shoots this guy who is literally trying to murder her, and that whole scene is her breaking the hell down, going, "Oh my God, I have killed someone. I have ended
That's not the
somebody's
first time
life.
she kills.
I am."
She
well,
kills.
Well,
in
and then
the
you just
opening
go
scene.
on.
Well, like the
without
first
even
time
a
that it
mention of
happens in the game, but by the end of the game, I even remember like she's got her pistol running into this fortress, going, "I'll kill you, you bastards!" And
Well, yeah, because
thinking-
they killed her close
Seems like
friends.
an odd transition.
Exactly,
Because
like-
I remember that scene
Yeah.
where she's like, "Oh God, it just shot somebody. Okay, I'm gonna do some more platforming here real quick."
And that's
You know?
and that's what we like to call character development.
that is a hell of a character
Way.
arc.
The
like,
almost
yeah.
exact opposite from Nathan Drake, who is just killing
Nathan-
in stride.
yeah.
Nathan Drake, I think, has the best character development because he's like, "Heh, I'm a badass," and at the end, he's like, "Heh,
That's perfect.
He has the opposite sort of development. It's like, oh fuck.
He has a negative character arc.
He's
He
like,
has a
guys, I
character
fucked up.
valley. He has a character trough.
I like Nathan Drake more as an explorer character, but if you want to know,
No, it's not a good character.
I
It's
think
really
he's
not.
unlovable.
He's
love him.
killed far too many people to just be. He
Well, I
should
mean,
be
The problem I
crying in a
have with
corner.
the new Lara Croft is that she's way too much of a whiny bitch.
At first, in the beginning of the game, which is understandable because it's an origin story. She's never been through shit like this.
It's
Yeah.
Tomb Raider, the game. Subtitle.
Nice sales pitch.
Subtitle. Oh God.
I
And
I
orgasm.
agreed with
Yeah.
that at first. I was like, oh my god, she's such a fucking like she's bitching out so much at the beginning of the game, but then like I became
But then character
with
arc.
because I was like she's she's green. She's never
I
done
would-
shit like this.
The gameplay,
She's like,
again,
what,
this is my
24?
biggest issue, is the fact that
Yeah,
the
she's a
gameplay
kid.
doesn't complement it. So you go from, oh my god, I've never killed anybody before, and then you go to a section where you just, like, fight off waves of dudes. It's like, okay, look, I understand you have to be an action-oriented game, but maybe make it a little more challenging for Laura to even maybe fire the gun, so that I could believe she was having an inner turmoil right now.
Well,
That would make sense.
With experience in a lot of shooters, I feel like they did a good job expressing within the gameplay that although she might be a good shot, she's not well versed with the weapon. Like the way she handles the weapons, like there's a lot of shit I'd be like, oh my god, I should have a fucking hit with these special forces kids I'm playing with on Modern Warfare, but I'm not getting that with her. Oh, she's never really fired a weapon before, or, she's never been in a combat situation. So I
felt like it didn't really work.
I think if you're trying to get into that much detail, you're gonna go to towards the heavy rain,
But see, that's the
and
thing.
where everything is a button command. I just don't
If you're
really think
making a
that
game
works
that
super well.
explores the origin of a character who has some fucked up history, then, if the focus is on her traumatic experiences, then maybe I should care about those traumatic experiences rather than wanting to skip the cutscene every time it happens. But maybe that's just me.
Yeah, but they have to find a balance between these people who want an action game.
I think
an
any
action
other
shooter.
I think that another company could have done a better job, because unfortunately I can't trust a lot of AAA developers right now to stray away from the typical action adventure themes. It's all just become a haze in my mind lately. All these games that are coming out, I don't even remember some of the names. But I feel like Tomb Raider fell victim to that. It could have been a really good game exploring the backstory of a character we didn't really know too much about. But instead, it just became a copy-paste, cover-based shooter that just didn't bring anything new.
It was Uncharted.
Yeah, it was Uncharted, but not. And that was what hurt it, because Uncharted's Uncharted.
Uncharted with different skins. Yeah.
I just feel like
maybe they'll do better in the next one.
Maybe. I feel like any other developer would have done a better job.
When was this game originally? I'm gonna look it up. When the Tomb Raider.
Original Tomb Raider. Oh god,
not
that was
not
like
the original one. This one.
Well, this remake, before it was remastered and everything. I think it was, I want to say 2 years ago. I might be wrong. I don't know. I couldn't tell you for sure.
Now I will say I did enjoy.
Yeah, it's been 2 years.
I enjoyed playing Tomb Raider. I just didn't care about any of the thing that was going on story-wise.
They could have done a better job with that. They could have had more interaction with the other main characters in the game. And I haven't completed the game yet, but I'm nearing the end of it, and they're doing a lot more interaction with these other characters. So I'm starting to connect with them a bit, but only a bit. And there's not really a lot of time to do a lot. I'm set. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm set that everyone fucking dies and it's lost.
Yeah.
The video
Basically.
game.
Well, you'll see. You'll see.
Well, speaking of remasters, again, why is it getting a remaster? It's only 2 years old.
Well, that was actually
That's-
kind of my
yeah,
point
that's
I
what
was
I
going
was
to bring
saying
up.
going into it originally.
Question.
Thank you. Great
Sorry.
way to go with that segue. So my point.
Wait, is it getting an additional
No,
remaster?
I mean-
Well, no. It had that remaster for the next
remaster's
gen
remaster.
for the next gen consoles. Because again, this game is if I'm correct, it's about 2 years old, and if not, it's coming up close to that. And I mean,
Wasn't the remaster 6 months?
the remaster it might have been 6 months. I know it was pretty close to the first release of these next gen consoles, and because they were trying to show off everything. So that kind of brings me to the point that I wanted to talk about. There's a resurgence of remastered games. So there's a lot of these coming up, and some of it is sort of reasonable. You can kind of understand why it's happening. These new consoles, these next gen consoles, are about what, year and some change.
Yeah.
And what kind of comes up with that is they have to show off what it's capable of doing, just so that you'll have some people who buy these next gen systems.
It's kind of like they forgot to make actual games. Oops.
Exactly.
I actually have the dates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitive
Tomb-
edition
Yeah, I
for
was looking
Tomb
at that.
Raider is January 28th, 2014, and the initial release was March 5th, 2013.
Also,
2013.
Can I
Oh
say
god, that's
how-
over 2 years old now. That's like 2
Yeah.
years.
Well, yeah, the original one. The remastered was made
Less than a year.
yeah, less than a year after.
But the one that you are playing, Ruben, is 2 years. Like over 2 years old.
Is
now.
it? Well, definitive edition
March of 2013.
Is, Xbox One
Mhm.
is current gen. Is that-
Current gen, and that was January of.
and that's only current gen,
2014.
right? There's not like a
yeah, that's a
fucking
year and some
remaster.
change.
I like
Well,
the
either
fact
way-
they title it the definitive edition as if saying, "Oops, you bought the wrong one."
Yeah, no, absolutely.
We got you.
Well, in a way, I can understand these remasters. Like, I understand you have this. You
I
have
can't. I
these
don't.
next gen.
I hate
Well,
'em.
you have these next gen games. You have to show people sort of like what this next gen technology is capable of. I get
Overheating
that.
a lot.
But to me, like, it doesn't necessarily excuse the lack of new titles. I know that there are lots of them being worked on. There are lots of them to come. But if I were a developer of a next-gen system and I wanted reason for people to buy this system that I'm coming out with, I would let everyone else know, hey, this is what's happening. Can you give everyone else a reason to buy my product? And I do not necessarily think the answer to that is, hey, let's revisit what's already been made and show what can be done. Because, I mean, yes, that sort of works. Things look prettier. But that's a point I wanted to bring up. Like, is it really worth it just to have pretty much the only good things available for your next-gen system be non-original material?
And to expand on that, why not? I want the answer as to why they just didn't continue production with the game for the next gen. If they're that close to the release of a next gen, where they have to release a remastered version for the generation that's now being introduced, why?
Well, that would
why even
be
release it
sort
for
of along the lines of like, are these? Well, maybe these games were released so close to the ending of this last generation,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
which would make sense for would make sense for some
with
of them.
Tomb Raider, it was absolutely a money grab because really the only thing different is that with the next gen, they added the Tress effects, the thing that sounds like a women's hair product.
It's like, it's exactly what it is.
You can see more hair
Oh man,
texture.
I can't wait to
Oh,
see all
so
of that.
it sounds
Hey.
like a women's hair product, and it involves hair.
But you want to know what makes
Sure.
me giddy every time I see it? It doesn't matter how many times I've seen it, but it still makes me, like, giggle inside. Anytime clothing flaps in the Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes game, it looks
Oh
so
god.
good. Like, in the first mission, the Ground Zero mission, everyone's wearing ponchos, and just, so good.
They're just like, hey,
That-
look what
I
we can do.
remember. No, I remember that, and I
And
remember
orient.
thinking like, you don't notice things like that, but when you start to, is when you start to think, man, they did such a good job with the smallest thing that I
That's
wouldn't
Kojima.
have noticed. And
And
I didn't
then-
notice that earlier, probably for a reason, because they didn't work on it.
And then
So-
you can't unsee
It looks good, though.
Exactly.
So when, yeah,
setting
it
your own
looks
standard.
great, but then when you see another game that doesn't do that, but they totally could have,
Like, I hate
You
stiff
notice.
clothes. It's something that bugs me in a lot of games.
yeah, clothes that look like they're just skin on top of what the actual person's skin is. Yeah,
Also, the fact that you can
it's bad.
hear when Big Boss rubs his thighs together, you can actually hear the sound of the fucking material rubbing against each other. So when you're
Sound
crawling on the
design
ground,
for the win.
when you're crawling on the
We all
ground,
know MGS is a very detailed game.
yeah, you can hear it, man. It's like, wow, why? But okay.
The
Also,
devil is in the details.
but yeah,
Yeah.
Ground Zeroes. Wow, I'm really fanboying about this game, am I?
Yeah.
It's good though. It's really, really good. I mean, it's not the greatest game ever yet, but
And it definitely got a lot of flack for how little there was
Listen.
to the main
I would have bought it for $40. After having played it 100%, I would have paid $40 for that game.
A lot of people don't 100% though. A lot of people will play the main quest and then sell it.
I wish I could have said the same. Like, I bought Ground Zeroes, I played it, I enjoyed it. I don't know if I would have paid $40 for it. However, I was so excited about the upcoming Phantom Pain, I wanted to get a sneak peek at like what the plan set in motion for it was. What is this vaguely going to look like? What's it going to play like? And that's what drew me into that. Well, either way, still on the topic of remasters, I'll share a little bit of my experience. Recently I purchased the remaster of Saints Row 4, and their standalone DLC, Get Out of Hell. Only because, well, now I'm starting my career and I have money to kind of throw away. So I decided, you know what? I really enjoyed Saints Row 4, and I've always kind of wanted to check out, like, what do they do in remasters? Is it really all that worth it? So I ended up getting it. And I started to play Saints Row 4, and my very first impression of it was, this is really pretty. This kind of plays a lot smoother. It feels a lot smoother, but it's not necessarily any different of a game. Like, this is the same thing. They just kind of they put a little bit of makeup on it, audio-wise, and for all these visuals, and I mean, that's about all I can say about it. I'm still sort of working through it, and yeah, it's almost as like it's giving more of a replay value. And if a game doesn't have that much of a replay value for it to begin with, maybe it's not all that useful to go with a remaster. I mean, if you are going for something like we've been talking about, if it's cinematic, maybe you've got more of a reason to make it look cooler. I bought it. I bought Saints Row 4 again. I paid another, $60 to get all of this stuff together. Yeah, I got a little bit more than I did the first time, and it's prettier.
I have a question about that.
Yeah, what's that?
So, I mean, this is the one thing that bugs me about the remasters for games that have pre-order bonuses. And how do those translate over to the remastered versions?
I couldn't tell you. I did not pre-order Saints Row 4, but with my general experience with pre-order bonuses, if I am that excited about a game that I'm going to buy it before it even is released, generally what I got for that is kind of negligible, because I'm going to spend so much time getting all the best stuff, all of the top-notch of literally everything that can happen within this game, that what you gave me first off, maybe it's special, maybe I can say, yeah, I got this because I pre-ordered it, but that's about it.
I don't know, it seems like kind of the crux of pre-order is that you get added benefits, plus you get the game. But with these remastered versions, it's almost like they're trying to take advantage of it, they're trying to make you buy it again. And
oh yeah, I feel like that's exactly what they're doing.
And that's my argument against taking recently released games, putting them out again on the current gen, and calling it a remaster. Look at Grand Theft Auto. They have GTA 5 for the Xbox One and PS4, and it's HD, it's beautiful, it's prettier, you have first-person mode, and all this other stuff. But they don't call it a remaster, because it's not. It's the same game.
Right.
It's just,
I mean, I would argue that it is kind of a remaster. Basically, they did the same thing that they kind of did with, Saints Row. They made it prettier. They added some stuff. Granted, I feel like they did a better way of quote unquote remastering it, as to they gave it some more stuff. They basically, from what I've talked, I don't have it. I didn't get it for next gen. But from what I've talked to with other people who have gotten it, they say it is a completely different experience with Grand Theft Auto 5. It makes them want to go through it again, and I can kind of get that. So maybe some companies do it well.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If you redo this stuff well enough for a current gen platform from the previous gen, you don't need to call it a remaster to try to sell people the game again. They're going to buy it anyways because it's a different experience. It's a better experience that gives the game replayability And so, if you do it right and you're good at it, you don't need to put that remaster label.
You
to
just
sell
make the
it.
game.
I can totally agree with that.
In GTA and Rockstar, they did it really well. Like, they added that first person, and so like if you're playing the story, that makes it that much more immersive because now you actually are the character. And if you're playing online, everybody's zany antics just takes on that much more antic, because now you can't see everything around you, and you are genuinely surprised, and it's much more enjoyable to see what happens from that first person point of view.
Yeah, I would do that again. Like, if they did that for every third-person game, like, hey, let's give it a first-person mod, yeah, I'd buy everything again. Like, I want to try that, so...
Even just GTA 5's heist update, they've added a lot of new stuff even on the 360 that has given it replayability, more so than just the heists. It's given it replayability for me, because for a long time, GTA fell off the board for me, and I wasn't having fun getting online with
Likewise.
But Heist came out. There's the world just feels a bit different with this update. Like, I know I heard that there's actually a more recent update that has thunderstorms and stuff going on, and like
cool.
flashes of lightning will actually kind of blind you a bit, and the thunder will rumble and shake your controller on the 360, which is not a current gen console.
So they're not just catering.
Whole remastering thing, the whole remastering cycle to me screams, we're moving to next gen. Forget about last gen. Forget about it. We're moving to next gen. Everybody throw down your things and come with us.
So Rockstar is doing it the best way by not doing that and saying, hey, you still have a 360. We're still going to do things for you.
Yeah, because I'm not going to spend $400 on a DVD player.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
and as
but
much shit
that's-
as they got rightfully for the the launch of GTA Online, they work really hard to make sure it works and to make sure it's fun.
Yeah. But that's
what
to
I
be
love.
expected.
They don't... Rockstar's main focus is fun. When I saw the E3 trailer, or really any trailer for, or interview rather, for the game, the word that I constantly kept hearing was fun. We changed this to make it more fun. We added this because we thought it'd be fun. Not, we added this to make it appeal to a wider audience, or we added this
So
feature
we can
because
sell
we think,
more games.
Yeah. We added this bullshit feature because we know some people like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not trying to make money. We're trying to make it
Nope.
well. That's
no,
not.
they are
Rockstar
trying,
knows how to
but
make
they
money.
they totally. I
They're
mean,
good
well,
at it.
everyone's trying to make money, but they don't. They're not necessarily trying so hard to do it. They know how to do it.
They have
and
5
they
games now.
will.
Well, 5
Yeah, like
GTAs anyways. They
They're
have more games.
they're the virtuoso that makes it look easy,
Yeah.
and
'Cause they
everybody
know
else
exactly
is
how.
just trying to imitate and get at that same level, but they're not. They're cutting corners, taking shortcuts because they can't
Mhm.
actually do it as well.
So I guess the takeaway from that would be like, yeah, remasters can work, but you have to give someone a really, really good reason to go through it again. You have to add replay value to that, because otherwise you are just you're just putting you're putting makeup on a beat up whore.
Look, I pre-ordered Dead or Alive
She needs the
14
love, okay.
Extreme Dodgeball Championship Turbo and got the sensor bar modification. And I wouldn't be able to keep that in the remastered version, so...
Oh wait, where'd you get this, man? Send me a link, please. For the love of
I'm
God.
joking, but in a couple decades there's going to be a Dead or Alive 14
Okay.
Extreme Dodgeball
Most likely.
Turbo
Well,
Edition.
Well,
I mean, unless
whenever-
Capcom finishes going under.
Why are there no dodgeball games? Dodgeball's
Yeah.
fun.
Did
But
you
only
ever
in
play
real
Hit
life.
the Backboard in Lemonade?
Yes.
I
And
would play a
Lemonade.
video game like that. I would play Griff Ball Hit the Backboard style.
Oh.
That would be fun as fuck.
Griff basketball.
Oh,
Yeah.
you were talking about metagames before, and I totally forgot until now.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what metagames do you compare and might be better than Griff Ball?
Team Fortress 2 has quite a few. WarioWare, for one, is one of my favorites, because it's like a whole bunch of mini games that are just ridiculous, like jump rope or platforming.
But isn't that the basis of the game? So it's not.
No, it's a community made game.
Oh, okay.
There's also one called Dodgeball, where you are all pyros, and you have to use your compression blast to blast away a rocket that then homes in onto the nearest enemy, and they have to reflect it back. And then there's Prop Hunt, which is in a whole bunch of games now.
Wait, what?
Prop Hunt, where one team
Prop
is hunters.
Hunt, Gary's
Yeah,
Mod,
yeah.
yeah.
I thought that was a standalone game.
Well, it's
no.
part the one that everyone knows is from Gary's Mod, and Gary's Mod is a whole thing in and of itself. But yeah, you can find anyone playing Gary's Mod or anything off of it, and Prop Hunt is, I don't know, arguably the most popular. Is somebody scratching my head behind it? Okay, thank you, Ian.
Team Fortress 2 had Prop Hunt for a while as well.
Did it really?
God,
Yeah, I think it had it before Gary's Mod.
Why didn't I know about
game,
this?
That game has
Maybe
got to
I-
be one of
maybe
the
it
most
didn't.
hilarious games I've ever. Because we watched Let's Play and Achievement Hunter and stuff. And I swear to God,
Yeah, we've
I've
seen
never
all those.
laughed as hard as I have at those.
Oh,
Prop
they're
Hunt games.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Are there supposed to be 2 cabinets here?
In as far as metagame,
Just
I'm
a
actually...
fucking banana just running along.
Or you put something really out of place, but they're like, wait, I don't know. Is it part of the map, or is this just someone being an asshole?
Am I getting baited right now?
Oh shit!
Or you just
All right.
stand right behind spawn.
Oh god!
I guess in that
So
same
that's like
logic,
an alpha game.
TF1 and Counter-Strike are technically metagames to some extent.
Yes. Yeah, that turned into
Arguably.
standalones.
Anything
I
that
can
the
agree
original
with that.
developer did not conceive. But yeah, anyways,
Yeah.
Is there any other topics we want to cover, or should we go ahead and wrap this up? 'Cause
You know what?
I think we've hit it good.
Yeah, I'm Rick.
I'm Darren.
I'm Stuart.
And I'm Ruben.
So thank you so much for listening, and stay groovy, Internet.
Peace.